Yes, people, myself, TS, and in this one, talking about war and racism. Now, obviously, unless you've been sleeping under a rock and that, you ain't really seen what's been going on in regards to Russia and Ukraine. And, yeah, my whole thing on war is this. If there's an issue between, leaders of countries and stuff, you lot can do this thing where, like, you lot need to talk about it, whether that's on Skype, Zoom, however, if it's a thing where it's going to get serious, you don't need to meet up and scrap it out or something, Brother, even if, sad to say, even if you lot need to get involved in, an arms war between yourselves, fine. But this whole thing of, just like mashing up innocent people's homes, their livelihoods, killing them, all that, I can't. There's no justification for it. That's the best way for me to put it. Like, obviously, I didn't even know, truth be told, I didn't even know what all this was about. And then I was watching some documentary on it, and they were breaking down the whole, Soviet Union, NATO, and after watching it, I could kind of see where maybe Putin's a bit scared from, in terms of, the fact of, when he says because when I first saw it, they're talking about, we've lost 40% of our land, and I was like, what, Ukraine ain't 40% of your land? What are you talking about? But when I see the whole picture of, like, where, the Soviet Union used to be and NATO and where it is now, I can see his concerns of it, basically, like, move your people back sort of thing. But all I know is this. If you have a point about stuff, so in that terms of that point of watching everything now, I kind of understand it a bit more, but your ways of going about things ain't right at all. Mashing up innocent people's homes, because it's always the innocent people that lose in this, You're killing innocent people, mashing up innocent people's homes, people having to flee, like, all the sort of stuff I don't get. And then when you got these, like, press people, like, they're there, like, oh, we're live in Kiev. Like, what are you live there for? Like, there was one Don doing some Panorama documentary the other day, and as soon as I watched it, I said, bruv, if this guy has life insurance, they're going to cancel his policy right now. Because they would have, the policy people would have seen this and said, no, we got to cancel this. Like, we can't, bruv, if you die, we can't be, we're not paying out for this. Man's there, seeing all the military dons. There's one point, he's like, he had to put the camera down and said, we're from the BBC, and they were like, this man was basically saying, like, don't talk to man, and he's like, I think they're Russians. Like, bro, you will get clapped up out here. Man didn't even have on, like, body armor, and it's like, what the hell, like. So yeah, man, I don't know in terms of all that, but the thing that wound me up even more is that the people are trying to flee, and then there are times of crisis, but you see one thing that don't stop even in crisis: racism. The racists, them, are still stopping the people of colour, like, oh yeah, you lot can't cross. Have you seen one picture where they're offering to shoot man if they try to continue moving? It's like, huh? And it's like, that's why people will start to not feel sorry for certain people, because what's going on over there isn't right at all. There's no justification for it. It isn't right one bit. 100% it's not right. And, in terms of the racism thing, it's disgusting. Truth be told, not to blame everyone, but, a lot of these, like, Eastern European countries, they've been quite known for these sort of things when, the England national team go to play there in years gone by and stuff. So it's not nothing new. But the way they're carrying on about it is bad. And what's even worse is that there's actually people trying to be like, oh, well, what were they even doing there? Hold on, it's a free world. Like, I hear a lot of people saying, oh, apparently it's meant to be really good if you want to, like, study medical studies and all this sort of stuff. And at the end of the day, truth be told, you're meant to be able to go anywhere. Yeah? Obviously, there's places that might be a bit hostile. Like, don't get me wrong, I know places like that could be a bit hostile. But if I needed to move there because it's going to be financially beneficial to myself and what I needed to do, whether that was at some sort of accreditation uni degree or something, then so be it. You'd have to deal with it there. You'd have to deal with it. But the fact of, okay, well, we're all fleeing now, you lot can't cross the border, that's disgusting. And that's where, for those individuals doing that, whatever happens to you lot, I have no sympathy, because that's disgusting. So yeah, man, I don't rate none of that at all. But I think it's disgusting, and I think people trying to say, "Oh, they shouldn't be in Eastern Europe as well," is disgusting. I'm sure, I'm a man of, I'm a black person. My parents have Caribbean descendancy. My mum come here, what was it? I think early 60s. Where it's been racist, and that in this country. I'm sure people back then would have said, "Oh, like what are you doing in England?" So I can't justify that. At the end of the day, everyone should be able to live life freely. Whether it's what's going on here in Ukraine, what's been happening in Syria, Iraq, all these places for years. People should just be able to live their life and get by the means that's best suited to them. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that all. I'd be grateful to get your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you haven't already done so, hit the subscribe button now, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.